receiving the rendezvous display. Olympia, we're receiving a video of display. It's good quality, and we're braking still, so we're performing the next depot burn. Copy.
So yet another impulse burn coming up to continue slowing the rate of speed for the Soyuz spacecraft as it closes in, now about 3/4 of a kilometer from the International Space Station. We're slowing down from about 3.5 meters per second down to 2.5 meters per second, and that rate will continue to slow until Soyuz matches speed with the International Space Station and begins its station keeping.
I have a very clear image of station in Veska. Copy. USOS, a large diameter, is getting closer to half of a square, and depots are on for retrograde burn, and rate is going down, and we're watching further.
More of that downlink telemetry from the Soyuz spacecraft. You can see that we are just about half a kilometer from the International Space Station. The distance to the station down the lower left-hand quadrant of this display. The rate of approach is slowed to 1.39 meters per second.
Half of a square. We copy.
International Space Station looming large in the Soyuz's cameras. It's the size of an American football field, including the end zones. As much room inside as a 5-bedroom house, complete with a gymnasium and a bay window that allows a unique view on the world below.
Another command for AJC mode. Just the same command, Romeo 5, to switch between AJC. Okay, sending command. How are you receiving a video now? This is much better, thank you. And you can use AJC mode at your discretion as necessary. Copy.
Visiting vehicle officer reports that the Soyuz spacecraft have begun its fly-around. This is a slight change in its orientation relative to the station, and bringing it into alignment with the Roscosmos docking port.
Range, and you're flying around? Yes, we're flying around at a range of 368 meters. Range rate is about 1 meter per second. In the C line, the first digit is 0. Copy.
Soyuz spacecraft disappearing behind one of the station's solar arrays as it begins to fly around and align itself with the docking port. Again, we are aiming toward a docking with the space station at 9:16 p.m. Central Time, just 22.5 minutes from now. About 5 minutes remaining in this station keeping until we begin station keeping after the Soyuz aligns itself with the docking port.
We still have fly around, lock on, 300 meters range, 0.68 meters per second range rate. Copy.
Олимпа в 04:50.
Olympa at 04:55. We might have LOS on this band for about 5 minutes. Copy at 04:55. We might have LOS.
Soyuz maintaining a distance of about 300 meters as it does this fly around to align itself with the docking port. Once it is in general alignment with the docking port, we'll begin the station keeping period.
270 meters.
Station keeping scheduled to begin at 58 minutes before the hour.
Copy.
Or about 4 minutes from now. And then at 9:05 p.m. we'll begin the start of final approach. The clouds of the South Pacific providing a majestic backdrop to the Soyuz as it closes in on the International Space Station. Of course, Commander Fyodor Yurchikhin, NASA astronaut Karen Nyberg, and European Space Agency and Italian astronaut Luca Parmitano aboard that spacecraft. Preparing to arrive at their new home away from home, the International Space Station. Visiting vehicle officer reports we've got about 15 degrees left to go before we're in alignment with the docking port.
Yes, that's it.
Rosviet's the name of that docking module. It is the Russian word for dawn, and it was delivered and installed on the International Space Station on May 14, 2010. Here's a graphic that depicts where Soyuz 35 TMA-09M will be docking on the Earth-facing port of that docking connection.
Page 63 is complete.
We do have some video fresh in from Baikonur where the dignitaries and family members are watching. They were there for launch earlier today at 3:31 p.m. And now are there to watch the rendezvous and docking. Among them, Doug Hurley, the husband of Karen Nyberg, who's aboard this Soyuz 35 spacecraft, getting ready to dock with the International Space Station, along with her colleagues Fyodor Yurchikhin at the controls and Luca Parmitano of the European Space Agency. Here is the upfront and close view from the cameras on the Soyuz spacecraft as it hones in on the Rosviet module. Again, that stands for Dawn. It is one of the Earth-facing docking ports of the International Space Station.
0.3 скорость движения.
0.3 and closing.
Принято.
Copy.
Наблюдаем мишень.
We have visual of the target. Crosshairs are most aligned. One cell to the right, one down from the center of the crosshair. Copy.
0,2 скорость сближения.
0.2 and closing. 50 meters is the rate.
Принято.
Soyuz spacecraft now 50 meters out from the International Space Station, closing at just a quarter of a meter per second.
Slowly moves towards the center of the crosshair. Copy.
Кресты собраны.
Crosshairs aligned.
Вас понял.
Copy.
0,15 скорость сближения.
0.15 meters per second and closing.
Причал, замечаний нет.
Final approach, no issues.
Кресты собраны.
On the final approach, screen target is in place. Crosshairs aligned.
1,5 метра по диаметру стыковочного узла.
1.5 cells relative to the diameter of the docking port. SSVP readiness confirmed.
Принято.
Copy.
0,13.
0.13 and closing.
Небольшие такие колебания.
Very small fluctuations, meaning target relative to the crosshair.
Visiting vehicle officer reports that the Soyuz docking mechanism is now powered up and ready to make contact with the Roscosmos docking port.
Closed. Copy.
Here's another look at that telemetry as both picture and data tell the story.
From the crosshair,
Вниз одна клетка.
by one cell to the right, by one cell down.
По центру. Кресты собраны.
Crosshairs aligned.
Скорость сближения.
0.15 is the range rate and closing.
Soyuz now just 40 meters away from the International Space Station docking port.
Мишень вправо одна.
Target
Вниз одна
one
клетка.
cell to the right, one
Кресты собраны.
down relative to the crosshair center. Crosshairs aligned. 0.15 meters per second and closing. Our range is 30 meters. 30.
Принято, подтверждаем.
Copy and confirm.
Мишень.
Target
Одна клетка вниз от центра.
one cell down from the center of the
Distance to target now 29 meters.
Скорость
Soyuz coming in very slowly at 0.15 meters per second.
copy.
Docking systems powered and ready to latch.
Приближаемся к 3 клеткам по
Getting close to the 3 cells relative to the width of the docking port. Copy.
Скорость сближения 0,15.
0.15 meters per second and closing.
Мишень практически.
You can see the thrusters of the Soyuz firing as it refines its approach.
Есть небольшое движение вправо-вниз, одна клетка.
Small drift to the right by one cell.
Есть небольшое расхождение по тангажу.
Deviation and pitch channel. Copy.
Мишень четко в центре.
Target is in the center of the crosshair. Crosshair is aligned.
Антенна есть, ССВП готов.
SSVP availability confirmed. Yes, we confirm the
Visiting vehicle officer reporting to Flight Director Royce Renfro that we're 20 meters out.
crosshairs aligned. We have roll discrepancy.
You can see the changing colors as a sunset is in the offing.
Ожидаем выравнивания.
Identify for trimming. But further, that's okay. Okay, roll trimming confirmed. Target is in the center of crosshair. Crosshair is aligned. 0.6 and closing. Now 0.1.
Принято.
You can see that black circle with the white crosshairs, the docking target that the automated systems are honing in on. In your upper left-hand corner is the docking port itself.
Target center is less than 1 cell below the crosshair. Crosshair
14 meters out.
approach is smooth. Target length is 1.5 cells, slightly less. Copy. Crosshair is aligned. Target is in the center of the crosshair, 0.11 meters per second and closing. Copy. Baza AR confirmed. SSVP is ready. Small misalignment in roll. Streaming in progress. Target is at the center of the crosshair. Crosshair is aligned. Half cell to the right. Half cell down relative to the center of the crosshair. Copy. I'll copy.
10 meters out.
We copy all. We copy loud and clear. We have
5 meters.
Discrepancy. Target width is 3 cells. Streaming in progress. Crosshair is aligned. Half cell from the center of the crosshairs. Target is pretty much at the center of the crosshair. 113.11 and closing. The target is in the center of 4 cells standing by for contact. Target in the center of crosshair. Depot firing confirmed.
Contact confirmed. We have a initial docking of the Soyuz 35 spacecraft carrying Commander Fyodor Yurshikin, NASA astronaut Karen Nyberg, and European Space Agency astronaut Luca Parmitano with the International Space Station.
10:30.
Preliminary docking time was 9:10 p.m. Central Time. We'll work to get you a final official time in a moment.
Yes, go ahead, Vladimir Alexeyevich. Oh, further, as I mentioned, faster than anyone. You've been faster than Pavel. Well, actually, it took us 4 hours, 47 minutes. All continue working the procedure. Write down the parameters. Turn on S7.
Standing by for the hooks and latches to drive and create a firm bond between the Soyuz spacecraft and the International Space Station's Roscosmos docking module. Visiting vehicle officer reports the hooks are beginning to drive.
RPZ 1. Closed. This is MCC Moscow. I copy you now. We had a short dropout. We are standing by for CADO parameters. All in, how copy? We copy you now, so please repeat last statement. Standing by for CADO parameters as on page 66. Bottle 1 pressure 175. Bottle 2 pressure 230. Drop 507 on both. Copy, thank you. Send Romeo 7 command, now Romeo 6. We turned off the floodlights and closed RPV-1. Copy, standing by for the...
Once again, here's a look at the visitors gallery. At the far end there on the left side of your screen, you can see Doug Hurley, the husband of Karen Nyberg, the newest resident of the International Space Station. As soon as the hooks and latches complete their driving, staying there with Brian Kelly from the Aircraft Operations Division here at NASA.
Bow pressure 805.
Again, everything went very well. Today's successful docking of the Soyuz 35 carrying Fyodor Yurshkin, Luca Parmentano, and Karen Nyberg to the International Space Station. Still unofficial time, but it was at 9:10 p.m. Central Time, occurring as the space station and the Soyuz flew about 250 statute miles over the South Pacific on a northeasterly track that will soon be taking over the northwest portion of South America.
Copy. D710. Visual pre-chow. Is in process of turning off. Okay. Your go. I sent the command. Command was successful. Copy. Copy all. Standing by on D15. LED on. Hooks closed. Copy.
Вижу там пальчик. Да.
Yes. LED is on.
15.
15, copy.
Есть погашение D13.
D12 is no longer eliminated. Copy.
Ожидаем загорания защелки втянуты Г-17.
Standing by for latch retraction LED on. Copy.
And the remote interface officer reporting the relaying information from Mission Control Moscow that so far the Soyuz side hooks have closed, but we're still awaiting the latches to sync up with the Rosviet module latches. And now we're receiving a report that the Rosviet module's hooks have closed as well. So we are moving along very well in terms of having a good structural bond between the new Soyuz TMA-09M spacecraft at its docking port, Rosviet module, the Earth-facing port at the end of the Zarya control module on the station.